Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is Three Buck Theater, and I don't know how true this news is. I don't quite know what's going on with this, but last night, news broke late in the evening once I was all done recording that apparently Disney is going to be resetting Star Wars. Now, this is something that should be taken with an absolute grain of salt, but we all know that Disney's entire reasoning for purchasing Lucasfilm, maybe not the entire reason, but one of the major reasons, is so they would in fact have merchandising rights, which we all know made George Lucas an absolute billionaire from the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and well, up until about 6 years ago when he sold it. So here's what it says. Following the poor performance and reception of Star Wars The Last Jedi, as well as Han Solo, Disney placed the movie franchise on hold and now said that they are resetting Star Wars and giving fans time to heal. Okay, well, for one, and I'm just, as much as I didn't care for Star Wars The Last Jedi, I don't think you could really call it a poor performance. 1.3 billion is not really a poor performance. But it did fracture the fan base, and Han Solo, the solo outing, did in fact not do as well as they wanted it to. And there are many people out there that will argue different reasons. It was the fandom menace taking back Star Wars from Disney, letting them know that they don't appreciate the way The Last Jedi went. And of course, you have other people, defenders of The Last Jedi, saying, no, Solo just tanked because people just didn't see it, came out on a really bad weekend. I'm going to be a bit of a centrist here and go, it's both reasons. It was both reasons, believe it or not. But this whole, now it said they're resetting Star Wars to give fans time to heal. This intrigues me and I want to know more. Now it says the news comes as a result of it learning that Disney has now canceled LEGO Star Wars Day, the popular annual event held during the spring at LEGOLAND, California. Star Wars fan site Rebel Scum offers that Lucasfilm stated that 2018 would be the last year that they do Star Wars LEGO Day. Now, that to me doesn't necessarily say that they're canceling it, that they're canceling, like, that they're putting the thing on hold. But Legos are a big part of the Star Wars business, and it's entirely possible that they haven't been selling. With the Lego Movie Part 2 coming out, we have no tie-in between Star Wars and that. There was in the first movie with the Millennium Falcon, but we don't know if that's going to be maintained over here. Now, in addition, the site reports that an unnamed source at Disney has suggested that the motivation was to refocus expenditure and limit Star Wars exposure to reset the fan base and allow fans time to heal. Okay. But one of the things you never really want to do is like limit exposure on something that's a $1 billion property. I can understand taking a bit of a break from the film side of things, but the TV side of things is like really ramping up. They're in production right now on The Mandalorian. Star Wars Clone Wars is getting its 6th season or 7th season or whatever. Its final episodes are coming out next year on Disney+. Cassian Andor is getting a series. Star Wars Resistance is currently on TV and doing well. So, from like the film side of things, I can see that. But on the TV, comic book, and book side of things, nah, that shit's still rocking hardcore. So I don't quite know how much of this I believe. But then again, merchandising you're going to see coming out of the films and not the TV shows. I don't think we're going to get a Mandalorian Lego set. You know what I mean? Or a Cassian Andor Lego set. Or maybe a Resistance because the different ships that they have there because of the racing. That could be something. But in the meantime, it will take a bit of time to get to that point. And those are probably going to be sold more as like plushies than Legos. Now, in addition, it says here that the Lego fan site, The Brick Fan, further offers that the reason Disney also canceled Lego Star Wars Day was to shift focus to Lego Movie 2. It's also said that while there could be a chance Lego Star Wars Day to return at some point in the future, that in its current form, it's done for. But like I said, yeah, Lego Movie 2 coming out, and we don't know if it's going to be tying together or not. Now, it says news of Disney canceling Lego Star Wars Day and potentially resetting the franchise doesn't come as much as a surprise, which is due to the huge failure of Kathleen Kennedy and Rian Johnson's The Last Jedi. Oh, God, don't make me fucking defend. I'm not defending it, but I still think that's a bit hyperbolic. I'm not a fan of either person, but let's be fair. It's hard to argue that, 1.3 billion and the second highest grossing home video sales of the year. Who knows? Maybe highest. It was highest as I looked, but I'm pretty sure Black Panther beat it out. So, there's that. Again, this article is kind of very one-sided. Let's be fair on that one. Because it says here, in the wake of Last Jedi's failure, which subsequently saw the Han Solo movie as the worst performing Star Wars movie ever, Disney CEO Bob Iger said Star Wars movies will be slowed down And it will also be and it is also known a new movie or franchise thought to be from Rian Johnson has been placed on the back burner or canceled. Although Rian Johnson has in fact basically, kind of disagreed with that one. But again, he's working on Knives Out, and he didn't go immediately from The Last Jedi into his new trilogy. He was working on it, but then he went right over to Knives Out. So it's possible that it has been canceled. And I'm not going to sit there. I'm not trying to defend or stand for Rian Johnson's films. I don't want them to happen. Right? I wouldn't mind him directing somebody else's script and somebody else really overseeing his work. But that being said, I do feel this is probably more true than not in regards to maybe not resetting, but resting it for a little bit, right? Resting it as a way to let fans kind of move past it. Give them something to get excited for. That's how you get them jazzed up for the movie. Because they're going to release The Mandalorian leading up to the release of whatever episode 9 is going to be called. We got Star Wars Celebration coming up in April, which is probably going to release the very first full trailer for whatever episode 9 is going to be called. Star Wars Resistance is going to have time to build an audience, and whatever they got going on at Disney Plus is going to be a thing as well. So yeah, the way I see it is that it's probably going to do, they're probably going to let it sit for a while before announcing new films. We're probably not going to get any new film announcements until maybe leading up to the release of episode 9, because they kind of did that. They kind of did that with Solo. Remember the day before Solo came out, they said, "Oh, by the way, guys, we're doing a Boba Fett movie and James Mangold is directing it." So they were trying to really flood the market with good positive news to get good word of mouth in order to put butts in seats. Hollywood knows. They're really good at determining how much money a movie is going to make in its opening weekend. They're usually pretty good based upon tracking and really proven methods. So you could probably tell they weren't wanting to release that information about Solo, and they were trying to find a way to use a hype machine to put more butts in seats. And there has been talk about the idea of Solo going to Netflix, opening up the movie to more fans, and then building more fans off of it. And I will tell you guys this, and I'll wrap it up. People I've talked to, not every single person I've talked to, who avoided Solo in theaters, who has watched it on home video, most of them have actually found themselves enjoying the movie. Right? Not as far as loving it as much as other Star Wars films, but enjoying the experience. And then I talked to others that watched it at home and just didn't care for it one goddamn bit. So it really does go back and forth on this one. If Disney is taking the time to reset Star Wars, or to kind of I don't want to say reboot it, but just refresh it, I'm okay with that. As much as I want there to be, treated like the MCU and get multiple good films a year, they really kind of put themselves in a corner. And they got to let stuff die down. So I'm okay with that. But I put it to you, what are your thoughts on this? Do you feel that they should walk away, that they should say, screw it, throw it all against the wind, and then just keep making movies? Or should they just focus on television for a while to give us something to kind of fall in love with again, and then come back with a whole new trilogy of films or series of films, characters, things like that? Let me know in the comment section. I am very curious to know your thoughts. If you guys haven't already, please thumbs up the video, subscribe if you're new. You can also call into our voicemail line at 818-350-3281. That's 818-350-3281. And I will talk to you all later. Have yourself a fantastic day, and peace out.